If Ireland is on your bucket list, we can only suggest one way to see it. On your own. Renting a car and driving your way around Ireland is one of the best ways to discover the Emerald Isle in all of its glory.
In the fall of 2014, we took an unforgettable 8-day self-driven tour of Ireland that included most of the southern half of the country. A route that included oceans, mountains, sheep, pubs, and lots of green.
Planning for this trip was super easy, since we used CIE Tours to package our car rental and set up our bed and breakfast vouchers we could use along the way. Now, we actually booked a lot of our B&Bs ahead of time using the vouchers, but if you're more spur of the moment, they allow you to stay at thousands of places that accept them without a reservation.
Ireland makes a great destination to try traveling on your own, and it was one of our very first self-guided adventures. So if you have 8 days and a car, here's our first-timers route for an Irish road trip.
Day 1 was our arrival day early in the morning at Dublin International Airport. Now, our lodging was actually in the city center and we weren't picking up the car until we headed out of Dublin, so we needed transport to the city. Luckily, the handy 747 bus runs from the airport to the city center for only €6 each way.
Our accommodations were at the Aisling Dublin, which is just west of the center and right along the River Liffey. It's a nice location that's close to a tram stop and the main train station, and only about a 30-minute walk to the center. We spent that first day recovering from jet lag and wandering around the city center, checking out Trinity College, Dublin Castle, and the Temple Bar area.
Bonus tip, if you're looking for an easy and cheap SIM card for your phone while you're in Ireland, we got ours at the big Tesco grocery stores from Tesco Mobile. It's great for having cell service and data on your drive.
Day 2 was our only full day in Dublin. We suggest using this day to check out all the major tourist attractions like the Guinness Storehouse, Jameson, the Book of Kells at Trinity College, popping in and out of pubs, and sampling local fare. We also suggest checking out Sheridan's Cheesemongers and Murphy's Handmade Ice Cream. On day 3, we picked up our rental car and headed west toward Galway. Most of this part of the trip is on main highways, so it makes for a good place to conquer that learning curve that comes with driving on the left. We suggest stopping wherever looks interesting along the way, but if you don't stop, this part of the trip takes between 2 or 2.5 hours. We used road atlases and our phones to find interesting sites along the way. One place we did stop was Clonmacnoise, or Clonmacnoise, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, monastic site, and it was a great little stop.
Head into Galway for lunch or dinner depending on your arrival time, and be sure to check out Silverstrand west of town for a nice beach and bluff with great views. Galway is good for a couple nights stay since it's a college town with a pub and restaurant scene and has a great traditional music culture. It also makes a good base for some nearby day trips. Find a B&B of your choice here and rest up. Tomorrow is a busy day.
On day 4, get up early for a day trip northwest of Galway to Connemara National Park, one of our favorite days. Head toward Clifton and drive the Sky Road for some incredible views. If you're lucky, you'll spot Clifton Castle on the drive. From there, continue on to Letterfrack and the entrance to Connemara. But before entering the park, head into town and grab a quick bite of lunch, then enter the park and hike Diamond Hill.
It's not the easiest trail, but the sights are stunning, including a panoramic view of the 12 bins and Kilmar Abbey from the top. If we could change anything about a route, we would have stayed here for a night to visit the Abbey. But due to timing, we only got a bird's eye view before driving on. We then looped back to our home base in Galway, driving through Leenane, Ireland's only fjord, and making a stop in the quiet village of Conch.
Get at it early again on day 5, heading south toward DUBLIN and the Cliffs of Moher. The cliffs are iconic and most likely on every tourist list of must-sees in Ireland. You can enter the park with paid admission and walk the cliffs, but you can also hike the cliffs from DUBLIN and other neighboring towns for free. We paid the entry fee, but this area was crowded. If you prefer a bit more solitude, ask a local for the best places to check them out.
Once you've taken in the cliffs, drive on to the gorgeous Dingle Peninsula. If there was one accommodation that would be a must-stay for this trip, it would be the Shores Country House in Castle Gregory. It was hands down the best food we had in Ireland, and the views are breathtaking. Now, in all honesty, this location isn't as convenient to touring as Dingle, but the food and accommodations are worth it.
Day 6 was a day trip to Killarney and the Ring of Kerry. Drive as much of the loop around the Ring of Kerry as you can squeeze into a day. The views on this drive are once again phenomenal, and be sure to get out and walk or bike to get the full experience. We managed to make it up to Mall's Gap before circling back through the Gap of Dunloe. We ended the night with dinner back in Dingle and a drive back to quiet Castle Gregory.
On day 7, we left the Dingle Peninsula behind and headed east. Our goal was to check out the Blarney Castle and kiss the Blarney Stone. Now, we expected this stop to be super touristy, but we actually really enjoyed it. The castle was well maintained, not overly crowded the day we were there, and they allowed you to climb the towers and get a feel for what it once was.
From there, we drove east to Ardmore, which is small, but it has the beautiful St. Declan's Monastery, one of the earliest monastery sites in Ireland. It's definitely worth taking a walk around. But if you're looking for a bigger town, you can also check out Waterford.
Our final full day left us with a choice as we drove back to Dublin. We wanted to see one more castle and had 2 options to pick from, the Rock of Cashel and Kilkenny Castle. 2 very different sites, but both tempting. We opted for the Rock of Cashel and were more than happy with our choice. It's an amazing complex. From there, it was a simple drive back to Dublin for one more night stay at the Ashley before dropping our car off at the airport the next morning.
So if you're out of breath, we were too. This is a jam-packed itinerary, and we still missed the entire northern half of the island and stuck mostly to the coastline. So while you won't see everything on this itinerary, we definitely think it's a great way to start checking out some of the must-see sites in Ireland. And let's be honest, all it's going to do is fuel you to come back and see more.
If you've been to Ireland, tell us your favorite spots. And if you found the information in this vlog useful, please like, favorite, and subscribe.
And if you'd like to see our full itinerary, check out our day-by-day breakdown and links to our favorite restaurants, accommodation, and sites in the comments down below.
So go! Let Ireland draw you in with its scenery, history, food, and of course its people.
And use the tips in this video to make your self-driven tour of the Emerald Isle extraordinary. Thanks for watching.